Robin Padilla was driving his vehicle when he hit a ballot vendor, causing a hit-and-run incident. A private citizen, Manarang, witnessed the incident and pursued Padilla's vehicle. Manarang contacted the police, who apprehended Padilla at the Abakan Bridge. During the arrest, police officers found firearms and ammunition in Padilla's possession. These firearms were not registered in Padilla's name. Legality of the arrest was Padilla's arrest without a warrant legal. Admissibility of evidence were the firearms and ammunition seized from Padilla admissible in evidence, considering they were obtained without a search warrant. Legality of the arrest, the Supreme Court ruled that the arrest was legal. The court cited Section 5 of Rule 113 of the Rules of Court, which allows warrantless arrests in the following instances: when the person is committing a crime in the presence of the arresting officer, when the person has just committed a crime and the arresting officer has personal knowledge of the facts indicating that the person committed it, when the person is a prisoner who has escaped. The court found that Padilla's arrest fell under both paragraphs A and B of Section 5. Manarang, the private citizen, witnessed the hit-and-run incident, which constituted a crime committed in his presence. Additionally, the police officers who apprehended Padilla had personal knowledge of the facts indicating that Padilla's vehicle was involved in the hit-and-run incident based on Manarang's report and their own observations. Admissibility of evidence, the court upheld the admissibility of the firearms and ammunition seized from Padilla. They applied the plain view doctrine, which allows for the seizure of evidence that is in plain view of law enforcement officers during a lawful arrest. The court found that the firearms were immediately apparent to the officers and their seizure was justified. The plain view doctrine continues to be a controversial topic in Philippine law, with some arguing that it can be easily abused. The case also raises questions about the balance between individual rights and public safety. The Supreme Court affirmed the conviction of Robin Padilla for illegal possession of firearms. He was sentenced to an indeterminate penalty of 17 years, 4 months and 1 day of reclusion. Temporal, a type of imprisonment as the minimum, to 21 years of reclusion. Perpetua, life imprisonment as the maximum. The court also denied Padilla's application for bail, citing that his conviction clearly indicated strong evidence of guilt. In essence, the court upheld the lower court's decision, finding Padilla guilty of the crime and denying his request for bail. However, the court acknowledged his medical needs and allowed for necessary medical examinations. Who grants executive clemency to Robin Padilla, and what other qualifications or factors that justify it? Robin Padilla's qualification for an absolute pardon from President Rodrigo Duterte stemmed from a combination of factors. Padilla had previously been granted a conditional pardon by President Fidel V. Ramos in 1997. This pardon allowed him to be released from prison, but it did not restore his full civil and political rights, including the right to vote, travel, and possess a firearm. This limitation on his rights prevented him from traveling to the US to be with his wife during the birth of their child. He was unable to secure a US visa due to his criminal record. President Duterte felt that Padilla had suffered enough and that it was important for him to have his rights restored. Duterte also acknowledged that Padilla's crime did not involve harming anyone. The Board of Pardons and Paroles, under the Department of Justice, recommended Padilla for executive clemency. Duterte absolute pardon granted Padilla full restoration of his civil and political rights, including the right to vote, seek public office, travel, and possess a firearm.